Hey there, Jody here, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over my October TBR. And I'm a bit late with this, making this video. You know, it's about halfway through October. And the reason for that is I wasn't really planning on making this video. I kind of thought maybe I would stop making TBR videos on my channel just because, I don't know, I just didn't think, I don't know. To be honest, I don't really get many views on my channel. You know, very thankful for those of you who do watch my videos, but, you know, if, you know, nobody is perhaps interested in what I want to read for a month, you know, which understandable. I'm nobody. I totally get it. But, you know, whereas like with my spoiler-free book reviews, I really look forward to making those. So I feel like I have a purpose for making those. Whereas I feel like if, you know, what's the point of making a TBR video if like it's literally going to get like not many views, which views aren't always everything, but, you know, sometimes it's like perhaps it's a sign that maybe people aren't interested. So, you know, that being said, I was like, I've done it for every month this year, so why not just continue it until perhaps the end of the year, and maybe next year I won't do them, we'll see. But I'm rambling, what can I say? It's what I do. And so anyway, I'll get on to what I'm planning on reading in October. Since we're about halfway through the month, I have started reading some books already. I've read two. You'll Be Death of Me by Karen McManus and The Summer Will Be Different by Carley Fortune. Those really weren't a part of my TBR when I picked them. I kind of decided with those two books I would just pick up to read whatever I felt like it when I was done reading the previous book I was reading. Hopefully that makes sense. So normally on my TBR videos I have about 5 books or so. I'm going to put 6 books on this TBR in total because, like I said, I've read 2 already and I have high hopes that maybe I'll, you know, read more this month. What can I say? So the first book is called Disclaimer by Renee Knight. I actually have started reading this already. I'm about 20 pages or so into it. It's a mystery thriller. And I got this book over a year ago now because I wanted to read the book before I watched a TV show on Apple TV. And, you know, so far, you know, I really like it. Looking forward to reading the rest of the book and then finally watching the show after all this time. And the next book is called The Resort by Sara. I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name, so I'll just have it somewhere up on the screen who wrote the book in case you're interested. Another mystery thriller that I'm interested in is called Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. And the last book on my TBR is called Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy, which is the first book in a 3-book like summer romance kind of series. And so, yeah, those are all the books on my TBR for October. Hopefully I get around to reading all of them. I've been reading a little bit faster than I had, you know, the last month or so than I had the rest of the year. So I have high hopes that maybe I can read all these books in a month. We shall see. And so, you know, I just thought I'd go over how I've been choosing the books that I wanted to read from like August till now. So I have a bookcase, and there on the bookcase I have one shelf of all mystery thrillers. And so my goal is to read every single book on the shelf. So far I've read about 9 books on the shelf in total. And so, you know, that's great. I have liked a lot of the books that I've read so far, some more than others, but my plan is to find books that I maybe like but don't feel like I have to hold on to and donate after I read them because I have like so many books. Just a few years ago, I was going through a really difficult time and I coped with buying books. I was watching a lot of BookTube and hearing about all these great books, and I was like, I want to buy that book and read it eventually. And then I would like, you know, basically I was buying books faster than I was reading them. I've gotten much better at that within the last year and a half when it comes to buying books, but I still have a lot of books. And so what I've learned about my reading taste throughout the last year and a half is that romance books and general fiction and literary fiction are probably my, you know, the genres that I usually always connect to the most. Find books that I connect to the most, that I like really picture myself wanting to pick these books up again and read again in the future. Whereas mystery thrillers I really love that genre as well, but a lot of times I maybe find books that I really like, you know, they could be 5-star reads, but I don't feel a need to like hold on to these books per se, even if I really love them. And so I can, you know, part with them and donate them after I read it. That's why I've been going through this one particular shelf on my bookcase, because there are books that I've read throughout this year that I really did love a lot, and I really think maybe perhaps in the future I might want to read these books again, but I don't have a place for them currently. And, you know, it would be nice to have them on the shelf instead. So that's why I've been like kind of going through my bookcase and, you know, reading mystery thrillers a lot. And what can I say? I've fallen back in love with the mystery thriller genre. I didn't really read a lot of mystery thrillers last year, so I definitely made up for lost time this year with that. And yeah, so I talked a lot in today's video. I'm all over the place, going through, once again, a bit of a difficult time. And But this time I will not cope with it by buying an unnecessary amount of books that I won't get around to reading immediately. So I've learned my lesson. But still a difficult time nonetheless. And at the very least, I've been reading a lot of books, and so hopefully, that can take my mind off reality for a moment or two. So I hope you guys are doing better than I am, and I hope you read a lot of great books in the month of October. And until next time, bye.